Hi, remember us?
We're the guys from Utah who traveled around America asking people what they knew about the Mormons.
It's been a long time since the Mormons crossed the United States. For a lot of years, people had some pretty interesting ideas about who the Mormons were.
But it seems that over time, people's ideas started to get a little bit better.
This is the place. We'll build our homes down there.
And even more interesting.
Oh, why can't Mormons send flowers?
I didn't know Mormons couldn't send flowers. I know they can't dance.
Back in the 60s, he was part of the free speech movement at Berkeley. I think he did a little too much LDS.
Hello. Oh, great. Mormon.
He's back and forth to Utah every weekend.
Oh, is that right? What is he, a Mormon?
I don't think he's doing a whole lot of singing with the Tabernacle Choir.
It seemed that in some ways we were beginning to make progress.
Hey, what do you think is a better excuse for why I'm not drinking on this date tonight? I'm a recovering alcoholic, or I'm a Mormon.
When we got married, I converted to Mormonism. We can't consume anything that alters our state of mind. We treat our bodies with respect.
But in other ways, we weren't.
All the while, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, a religion founded in the U.S., became one of the fastest growing religions in America. Then in 1995, something extraordinary happened.
For the very first time in history, there were officially more Mormons outside of the United States than inside. The LDS Church had gone global.
After finding out what people think about Mormons around the country, we wondered, what do people think about Mormons around the world?
We also want to find out, what's it like being a Latter-day Saint outside of America, the country where the religion was founded?
So I spoke to Mormons and asked them that very question.
And I spoke with everybody else.
We had a camera.
We had a couple credit cards.
All we had to do was decide where in the world to go.
Europe.
It's true. I'm an American-Mormon. Who are you? No apologies, no complaints. Pleased to meet you with a Latter-day Saints.
Have you ever been to Utah?
No.
Have you ever heard of Utah?
Yes.
What about you?
Utah, oh gosh, please don't ask me that.
So what have you heard about Utah?
The name.
The name?
Yes, of course.
Utah. Oh.
Utah. Never heard of it.
I have absolutely no idea where that is.
It's in the middle of the country, right?
In the north?
Utah, it's in the west. It's kind of close to California. It's kind of on the western side of the United States. If this is New York and Colorado is here, you have California, then Nevada, then Utah's just over. Yeah, right, close to the middle, like kind of western.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Okay.
Do you know what it's shaped like? Could you draw it? Draw the shape?
No.
No?
No. Can you draw the shape of Israel?
Of Israel? Yeah, it's sort of like, you know. No, I can't do it. So, you ever heard anything about Utah?
I think I've heard it in a movie.
In a movie?
The Discovery Channel.
Cowboys and all these guys there, cattle and that kind of stuff.
Cowboys.
Cowboys. Cowboys in Utah?
Utah is for the Indians. It's okay. It's
for the Indians?
Yes. Yeah, that's basically oil rigs maybe.
Yeah, oil rigs?
Yeah.
muscle guys.
Muscle guys.
Yes.
Like
yes,
me.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. We live in Utah.
Ah, yeah. Utah. Empty state.
The empty state.
Yeah, there are many fields.
Oh, many fields. Okay.
Yeah.
Farmers, I think so.
Farmers?
Sheep, goats.
Sheep? Goats?
Yeah. Pretty lonely, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that where you're from?
Utah Jazz.
Utah Jazz?
Come on,
I
yeah.
love sports.
Snowboarding.
Snowboard.
Olympic Winter Games.
Yes, that's right. What about something about Utah non-sports related?
That's a tough one. Nothing at all springs to mind about Utah.
The tornadoes.
The what?
The tornadoes.
Tornadoes.
Beautiful women.
A lot of white people around.
A lot of white people?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I think everybody's just that friendly and everything.
Amazingly friendly. A lot friendlier than you'd expect from the movies that you see.
In Utah, we call that BFF. It stands for Best Friends Forever.
Yeah, it's best friends forever.
So you two are BFF.
Yes. We have a BFF.
I've seen an episode of Friends that they mentioned Utah.
Watching Friends, and there's this episode where they have to name all the 52 states?
And Utah's the last one thing. So
Utah's the last one the friends could think of.
yes.
Utah? Dude, you can't just make stuff up.
Okay, and other than that, you don't know anything else about Utah?
And on it.
Saints.
Saints, Utah Saints.
The Utah Saints?
Very strict religiously. You can't drink there. Something about religion or something.
What have you heard about religion in Utah?
Oh, I forgot the name.
There's a religion that is headquartered in Utah.
A religion, not the Scientology.
Not the Scientology,
Right.
no. Yeah,
And it must be Catholic.
Ooh, good guess. The Catholic Church their headquarters are in Rome. Have you ever heard of a religion associated with Utah? Begins with an M.
Yeah, I know.
You mean the Indians?
Not the Indians, the Mormons.
Hvad hedder de der med... Yes, Mormon.
Mormons.
Yes, so easy.
So easy. The Latter-day Saints in Utah are kind of like the Catholics in Rome.
Oh, okay, so they're everywhere in other words.
Yeah, they're everywhere. Have you ever heard of the Mormons?
Ah oui, d'accord.
Is it Mormons? Mormons.
The Mormons.
The Mormons, right?
Mormons? Mormons.
Have you heard of the Mormons?
Is this a band or?
How about the Mormons?
Which one?
The Mormons, yes.
Oh yeah, the Mormons.
Have you heard of the Mormons?
Yes.
Yeah, I have heard of that.
In Germany we called it Mormon.
Mormon.
Mormoner.
Mormono.
Oh, of course. Of course, the Mormons.
Have you heard of the Mormons before?
I don't know.
No, a church in Utah?
No.
No. All right.
What are American Mormons like?
They're good too. Utah Mormons are good too.
When a lot of English people think about being a Mormon in America, they immediately think of Utah. And a lot of Mormons in England, especially, well, the British Isles, and Europe, I suppose, have a lot of preconceived ideas about Utah Mormons.
You go from this world that's just non-members everywhere, and then you get to the Salt Lake flights bit, and it's just like, oh, where are you going, Elder?
So you also lived in Utah, right?
Yeah.
We're very lucky and very blessed to be in the promised land.
I liked it. It was so cool to have seminary as a school class. So you could just walk, from math, you just go to seminary and then you go back to graphic arts or something.
There's a lot of temples and things, members all together.
Yeah, it's crazy because at each corner you have a church, and so it's really, there's another one. A lot of people still have the idea that they all wear lace collars and bows in their hair and frilly dresses to church on a Sunday.
But the Utah girl hair is big.
All the boys have really perfectly manicured side partings like the missionaries do.
They like to have the big fluffy hair. We as Germans don't do that. But that's taste. I think the guys like it.
Can you cut that out? It's me.
I'm actually a nice girl, okay?
She really is.
You have all the general authorities there, going to Maria Center and going to the, for conferences. It's very nice to have that.
It was so weird to be able to talk with my physiology teacher about the talk I would give on Sunday.
So how do you envision what happens in a ward in Utah?
Yeah, the Relief Society. I think that's a big thing. The pretty fancy little signs and things like that. I think that's great. But we don't do so much of that here.
Okay. Well, what do you guys do here?
Teach.
Do you like Utah? Yeah, it's great. Lovely place to visit.
I just love Utah. I just love how people are so easygoing.
so many people who speak French.
It is a great place to visit.
I really like Utah.
Snowman parties in your front yard and inviting your neighbours across doesn't actually work very well in England.
I remember the donuts. I really like the donuts.
Everything is all around them, isn't it? It's kind of a cocoon. It's not as it probably isn't a cocoon. I'm sure they've got all the vices.
More of a bubble. Who are the Mormons?
I have no idea.
What is a Mormon?
What is a Mormon? So who are the Mormons?
They're like travelers.
There is all brothers.
All brothers?
And work together for make houses.
I don't know. Are they the people that don't get drunk and stuff? Like they don't do anything?
They come from the Dutch, don't they? The Mormons. That's why they're gorgeous, blonde and blue-eyed.
I've never heard anything negative about them, certainly.
I've seen an episode of The Simpsons.
You, sir, are a moron.
A Mormon? But I'm from Earth.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
And you saw that on The Simpsons?
Yes. Tend to keep themselves away from everybody, secluded and that kind of stuff. We're black.
Like all black?
Yeah.
Well, obviously, like in Utah, you've got your little communities, haven't you?
Honest, I don't know anything about the Mormons. I'm aware they exist, and Donny Osmond is one, and that's
Donny Osmond
it ends.
One of our friends that he chats to internet with a Mormon.
I used to know a couple of them.
The only thing I've seen is a thing on A&E.
They seem fairly outgoing and a bit different.
Some type of Christian religion.
Is it a religion?
It seems more like a living religion.
They believe that their religion is, like, the word is directly spoken to them through the documents they have, and I think a very rich document library.
I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is, man.
Don't know something about some more. I don't know something about, so...
You don't know about them?
They don't talk with me, so...
Sometimes they give people food, and sometimes it's very strange, like religion giving you food.
They believe in God, and I know they try to live a very simple life.
Normally, like when you're in Utah, you see these very beautiful families with 18 blonde children. I think that must be another thing, is family values, having lots of children.
They are a little bit Christian.
Extremely Christian.
They use the same Bible as Christian.
They might go a little bit over the top with the godless thing, but that's their choice.
Sure. Hopefully not as guilt-ridden as the Catholics are.
You might be surprised.
They follow Jesus Christ, I think.
Do you know how it started?
I can't remember just about this guy, Jesus guy, who was in America, like another incarnation of Christ or Buddha, or one of the gods who came to America.
They kind of Hebrew, but it's like they believe in something else, and they all moved to the States. And most of them moved to the States. And I know they've got an American-based religion. Churches in Utah?
That's right. That's right. That's exactly right.
I only knew that because I collected fossils in Utah, and one of the paleontologists was reading the Book of Mormon in his tent, and he told us all over the fire.
It's a system that all the people are equal.
Have you ever heard of the law of consecration?
No, what's that?
I get mixed up because there's Quakers, and then the ones that live in the communities. I can't remember which one's which.
I may be getting your religions mixed up there. I know more about the Mormons than I do about the Amish.
They're very nice people.
They follow the book more. Yeah, they follow the Bible.
Stick to the Bible, by the word, exactly.
No, just the Bible, The Book of Mormon, is that
right? Do you know what the Book of Mormon is?
No. It's an adaptation of the Bible. It's another testament. Someone else wrote it, probably the same time.
Have you heard of the Mormons?
Yes, the Mormons.
Yes. Do you know what the Mormons are?
Yes, the girl live in water with the fish tail.
The girls that live in water with the fish tail?
Yes, and then...
The Mormons?
Yes.
I think you're thinking of the mermaid. Mermaids.
Okay, the mermaids. Okay.
The Mormons are very different. Have you ever known any Mormons in Thailand?
Yes, I know. Yeah, we've got some friends who Mormon. Yeah.
Oh yeah, what are they like?
They're really good at basketball. I remember that.
Unbelievable basketball players.
I think Dennis Rodman offended him one time. He was playing in Utah, and
he probably did.
He offended the Mormons in some way. But
Dennis Rodman kind of offends everybody at one point or another.
If you hit them, they turn your cheek.
Oh.
They do just like the Bible.
Like the Bible?
Yeah,
very Christ-like.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've seen movies about them.
Have you? What movies have you seen?
It was a Western with, they call me Trinity.
How come they're unarmed? Oh, it's part of their religion. They don't believe in violence.
Huh?
Oh, something like that. Welcome, brothers!
Yeah, then they fight with the bad guys.
But the Mormons won't fight back?
No.
So if you ever want to fight and you're scared, just pick on a Mormon.
Yeah.
Well, as a street performer, there's an old joke. You know, if you walk away and don't pay, I'll send a Mormon to follow you home.
That's what you say as a street performer?
Yeah. Well, you'd get away with it in New Zealand, for example, but I don't say it here in case I offend someone.
What do the temples look like?
Huge constructions.
Huge constructions. What color?
White, always white.
The Salt Lake City temple there and the big records of people.
The records of people, like the genealogy?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, Mormons do a lot of genealogy work.
Where's the closest temple that you do temple work in?
Yeah, we don't have a temple here in Roma. We hope to have pretty soon a temple. We love the temple.
Having a temple in France would make a big difference.
Our temple is in Switzerland. Switzerland is one with 1,000 kilometers from here.
Now, how far away is that?
If I go like with the speed my dad tells me to, it takes about 3.5 hours.
When you drive 5 hours. We go to Germany, we take a 6-hour bus ride.
12 hours to reach the temple.
There's actually a Mormon temple in Freiburg.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that, so you've never seen that before?
No.
Okay.
Where is it?
Everybody was so happy, you know, for a temple to come. And I remember when we, like for Christmas, the Christmas before the temple, or when they donated the money for the temple, like my parents sat down with us and they said, okay, you know, we really would like to donate something for the temple to be built, and so, but this means you would have to sacrifice your presents this year, so if we don't have to buy presents for you, we can donate the money to the temple, and you know, we were like, yeah, do it, you know.
Usually we go to the temple 3 or 4 times a year. We stay 1 week or 2 weeks.
And then when they actually had the open house, there were so many people standing in line forever, you know, in the rain, in the storm, to get inside, you know, to just see this house.
I think that the faith of the members helped to have soon the temple here.
There's so many beautiful monuments in Paris that we need one to be even more beautiful and excel, even more than Notre Dame, even more than the Arc de Triomphe and all that great stuff. So a perfect place to a temple.
But what I remember more than the open house was when we were sealed, you know, because like I was 7 years old when our family was able to go to the temple to be sealed, my parents to get married for eternity. And this was really nice because we were all dressed in white, my other 3 sisters, because the youngest one wasn't born yet, and so we're all dressed in white and we could kneel around. This was really a great experience.
But we don't have Mormons in Europe.
You don't have Mormons in Europe?
No, not in Sweden. Not in Sweden.
No Mormons in Sweden?
No.
I don't think we have that many Mormons in Sweden or around in Europe.
There's no Mormons in South Africa.
So there's no Mormons in South Africa?
I think so.
How about Germany? Any Mormons in Germany?
There probably are.
Are there any Mormons in Germany?
I don't think so.
I know that in Germany it's more popular than in Holland, but that's...
How about Canada? Do you think there's a lot of Mormons in Canada?
Yeah, definitely.
Are there any Mormons in Brazil?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know anybody.
You don't know any?
No.
Are there any Mormons in Israel?
Maybe.
Maybe in Jerusalem. Maybe in Jerusalem.
Have you ever heard of any Mormons in Israel?
Yeah, of course there is. There is Mormon churches. They have a huge church in Jerusalem.
Are there any Mormons in the Philippines?
Some Mormons. I think there is.
You think there is?
Yeah, I think Mormons.
Are there any Mormons in Argentina?
No, I don't think so.
We have Mormons in Czech Republic, yes.
Have you ever met a Mormon before?
I don't know. Maybe yes.
Yeah.
I don't know what is mark of Mormon?
Because they look like anybody else, I guess they could be anybody you wouldn't even know.
Yes, probably.
Are there any Mormons in Spain?
No.
No.
No Mormons in Spain?
No.
It's very strange.
Are there any Mormons in Finland?
I think there. Yeah.
Are there any Mormons in England?
I don't think so. We're not as religious like as a country as America is at all, are we? One little bit. So no, I don't think we have Mormons.
There's a big Mormon community in Liverpool, man.
I just know that there is a group in Piacenza here in Italy, in the north of Italy.
Are there any Mormons in Europe?
No, not that I know of. There's some in New Zealand.
Yeah, Mormons in New Zealand?
Yes, but probably not a lot. Yeah.
There seems to be a minority.
So are there Mormons in Kenya? Mormons?
Yeah, I think they are.
Do you have any Mormons in Latvia?
Mormons.
Some. They are a small piece of it. In Latvia, I think there is 100 to 200 people they are using Mormons. Yeah.
I would love to see the moment in Kenya, and so that people they can, know what is Mormon and what all about.
They're very old-fashioned, I think.
Old-fashioned? How so? What are there things they're allowed to do or not allowed to do?
They don't like a lot of interaction with the modern day society. They like to keep using their horses and carts.
There is not in the normal world.
They don't live in the world. They live isolated.
Yeah, and they've got like carts. They don't get on cars. It's what you see in movies, basically.
Are Mormons allowed to watch TV?
See, why not? It's the Amish that aren't allowed.
The man has to do his work. Maybe bring the money to the house, and the women has to stay at home.
The ladies can't go out the house. They don't use electricity.
And then the women are very homely, don't leave the house and that kind of stuff.
Live by the law of the Bible and not sleeping with another before they're married and something like that.
They don't drink and they don't have sex till marriage.
They can't have sex before marriage.
They go to church
every Sunday. At the moment, they go to the church every Sunday at 10.
We go to church for a long time on Sunday.
And like on Sundays, there are no like television, just like singing.
How long does their church last?
3 hours.
Yeah.
Every year they have some kind of a get-together.
They have meetings on Wednesday nights.
Wearing something like the right clothes or something like that when they go to the church.
I think they dress kind of traditional.
Because of course now I presume that modern fashion is probably taking over in there. Even if you go to the jungles now, you'll see a pygmy tribe and that one of them will be wearing a pair of Levi's.
Right.
But likewise with the Mormons, I presume that the more contemporary ones will be wearing more contemporary clothing.
Blue jeans.
Yeah.
Maybe like buttoned up blue collar shirt.
Maybe.
Black windbreaker.
But yeah, of course. But maybe they might stick to their traditional colours, which is black and white.
The Mormons c'est the man with... Comment ça s'appelle?
Sí, I'm physically characteristic.
Beard?
Hair.
Maybe the beard.
They never shave, I think.
They don't shave?
No.
Okay.
They never swear. That's the one thing I notice the most. Especially with me, because I've got the worst mouth.
They don't like blood transfusions, do they not?
They don't like blood transfusions?
They don't swim in the sea or something, or some do.
They build their own houses.
Build their own houses?
Yep. I'm quite into self-sufficiency.
I had people saying if you join them, you have to give everything you own, and it's very scary.
I remember the no tea, no coffee.
And they do drink soda?
No alcohol, no smoke.
Like the Buddhists.
Yeah, similar.
They know how the body reacts to all kind of, products. And when they mix together, you don't get healthy.
When the body is healthy, then maybe the mind and the soul will be a little more healthier than it used to be.
Do you know what that's called?
No.
Purity or something?
It just sounds like a wise way to live when you say. Like, maybe some sort of words of wisdom.
I think so.
If you met a girl and she was Mormon, would you date her?
Yeah, why not?
Absolutely.
Did you ever date a guy that was a Mormon?
I didn't think they were allowed to date out of their little sect.
They can't date before marriage.
So how do they get married if they can't go on dates before they get married?
I don't know. There are some parties for the young people to meet each other.
Oh, okay, so they meet at the parties, but they don't go on dates.
No.
The Mormons,
You can have
several wives.
Yeah.
Do they have more than one wife?
I think they can take more than one wife, can't they?
They were allowed to have many wives. They have many wives.
Bigamists? Is that them?
They have a lot of wives.
A man can have as many wives as he wants to.
Have you ever seen Paint Your Wagon with Lee Marvin?
Yes.
Are they Mormons?
There are Mormons in that movie, yes.
Holy Moses, they're Mormons! What about it, Mormons?
Well, he had 2 wives, didn't he?
Brigham Young has 27 wives, and he hasn't had half the trouble with them I've had with the 2 of you.
Good reference, good reference.
Yeah, thanks.
At one time, about 150 years ago, they could, but that's not been practiced for some time. They used to, but not anymore.
No, not anymore.
No, I'm aware that it's banned, but I thought you still could do it if you wanted to.
Right, okay, no, you can't. Absolutely not.
Jews used to.
Do you want it to be allowed?
I do not want it to be true. I haven't even been able to find one wife yet.
Should I ask this guy? Famous old Mormon church. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's in this area somewhere.
I think I do, and if it's the same thing,
It's like Gad build.
there's a small church and there's a large church. Well, you know what area it's in?
The directions we got were to, take the road towards Pendock,
Yeah.
come to the crossroads and turn right.
Yeah.
That's it right there.
This is going to be fun.
What's that?
There's a code to get in, but you have to be Mormon to know the code. If nobody's here, you may still get in, but you must pass a test.
Let's see how we can do.
A series of tests to find out the code.
Heber J.
No. Heber C. Kimball.
Heber
Jed.
C. Kimball.
Jed
Heber C.
did
Kimball.
not pass the test. The age of which children can be baptized in the church, that would be 14 or 15, according to the guy in the Amish country. First letter of Brigham Young's surname. Well, Brigham's surname. Then turn the knob to the left. Oh, this knob. Ah, ha, ha! Wow. Have you ever heard of the Mormons?
Mormons? You don't understand English too much.
The Mormons?
Comment? J'ai pas compris. I can't talk so much.
Ah, okay. Mormono? Mormono?
I forgot the word.
Yeah. Mormonin?
Je comprends pas ce que ça veut dire.
So, have you ever been to Utah?
Bah, je sais pas parce que j'ai jamais été donc j'ai pas d'opinion.
You're going to do the American part of it, and I'm going to do the English accent.
We can try a translator.
Oh my gosh, that's all I know.
Oh, that's pretty good. Jolly good. Jolly good.
That's where we're from, is we're from Utah, so we're finding out if people know anything about Utah.
J'ai jamais été donc je sais pas. J'ai pas
Espion général. You could ask her if she's ever heard of the Mormons.
My name is Iffy.
What?
Iffy?
Iffy?
Yeah.
I question that.
Have you ever met a Mormon, or what is a Mormon?
Est-ce que tu connais ce que c'est un mormon?
Ah, you little biker. That's all I got.
Is this your first time in Paris?
Oui.
Oui.
Si.
Si. Yes. Right.
Français. You know speak Français?
Is it Mormono?
Mon nom?
Mormono?
Do you speak French?
French and English.
Can we get one more translator? One more translator. Anyone?
Say something in French.
Bonjour.
Viele Völker lebten einst im Land Mormon.
Can you say, I am a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints?
I don't know a lot of French. I just know a tiny bit.
Mi ha avvisato personalmente che c'è molto da lavorare attraverso I dirigenti.
Están por todos lados, no solo en Utah.
Now say it in English.
This is kind of a lot like being on a mission all over again. What could the Mormons do to make themselves better known or more accurately known to the rest of the world?
Marketing? I don't know.
Start up their own church, a Mormon church.
Sponsor a rugby team.
Just have to go into television and advertise, you know.
Advertising and go, I don't know, some actions on the street.
Maybe go out on the streets and talk to people.
People.
Maybe 2 at a time.
Yeah.
Or go to houses.
Yeah, that's.
So have you been stopped by Mormons before?
Yeah.
What were they like?
I think they are well dressed.
What do these missionaries? What do they look like? Do they have certain clothes?
Yes, they got a black suit.
Very aristocratic.
Aristocratic.
Yeah.
What? Black jacket, white shirt.
They wear a tie and a small shirt like that.
A hat.
I know, suit every day and no, not you know, valuable suits.
Right.
But you know, regular.
Not a valuable suit.
Very pretty guys.
Very what?
Very pretty guys.
Very pretty guys. Those were Mormons. Yes. Yes. Correct.
It's true. It's true. I'm not joking. It's true.
I know. Yeah.
We've seen them all over the world. You know them because they're always walking on their bikes and they got this suit. Yeah.
Having just mountain bike and
The people with the who walk with the shield.
With the shield, like name tag?
Yeah.
With their names.
Name tag.
Have that nice name they say before their name, like I'm brother so and so.
All white and black suits that they call fathers or whatever.
It's like some sort of title, like a missionary title. Yeah.
Do you remember what that title was?
It's nice though, because when I've heard it, I thought it was their name. I thought it was a nice name.
Is it brother?
No.
Is it sister?
No.
Is it bishop?
No.
Elder?
Maybe that's it. It's elder.
What do you think about the people who are very young that would dedicate their lives to church service?
I don't think it's normal.
They're full of energy, you know.
Yeah.
They have like they should all be able to get married if they want.
Right.
Missionaries is when they're on their quest to achieve a status.
So they walk around the street together and they never talk with you and never nothing.
They want to come up and talk to you? Missionaries don't go on dates, so maybe they saw you and thought, well, you're a pretty girl, so we better stay away. The next time you see some missionaries, go up and talk to them. I bet they'll be thrilled. They'll be so happy to talk to you.
Okay, maybe.
How long do Mormons go on missions?
How long it takes.
Yeah. There's no time factor, is there?
As long as it takes?
As long as it takes.
But what if a person who was very young dedicated their lives to church service for just a short period of time? Would that make more sense?
Yeah, that would make more sense.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I think
if they had the choice, like rather than
like maybe 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
Now, what do these missionaries do?
My experience, they're the people that knock on your door on Sunday morning.
If you go to the city, they speak to you.
Do the Mormons go door to door?
They do, but they're not as forceful as Jehovah's Witnesses.
They are always young people. I don't know why.
Are there girls that are missionaries or just boys?
I've only ever seen women. It's only men, yeah.
There's only men.
Usually blonde as well.
Usually blonde.
Yeah. Always like two blonde and with blue eyes.
So the name,
very Aryan. Yeah, I think there must be one blonde guy who has all the wives.
In Brazil, we have a lot of Mormons walking around. You can see them. That is like the white guys with the backpack.
I saw them all the time walking around in the city. Never talked to them.
I just saw them. They're just visiting some houses.
One day I was going around churches just to find out which other church I can join. Methodist, born again, and then I met a missionary.
People, in the street, door by door, knocking.
House to house.
Yeah,
and
knocking.
My wife received a visit from the missionaries of the church.
When I studied at the university, they came to the lesson and they were trying to introduce the religion.
And I met the missionary. And I know the missionary when during the English course.
But it's nice because they start to talk about
something, usual, it's like, oh, we like sports and you know something about, and after they start to talk about religion, and it's very nice. I already talked with the Mormon.
But one day they knocked on my door and I said, okay, I'll listen.
And they told me about the church and told me to pray about it and find out about it.
You can find sometimes them in the street and they stop you and try to, that sort of things that they ask. Do you believe in God? Or, what do you think about us?
She called me and said, okay, I received this man. They are beautiful one. And they show me a film.
Have you ever spoken to these people before?
Yes. I never really gave them a time of day. I just said move on. I didn't really stop at all. So.
I said, no. Don't listen anymore to these people because they are tricky people.
I talk to them. I want to know why do you believe in God and so on.
Sure.
Right. And they ask me questions as well. So I always end up in a lot of discussions.
And then I continued to have a discussion with the missionaries.
10 years after, one afternoon, I was back in my home and I saw two men close to my house. And there was a strength that pushed me to go to meet these people.
They are very polite. They always listen to you.
When they opened my house door, my wife was there and said, "Uh-oh, they are like similar men that you forbidden to meet 10 years ago to see again."
They look for people who can join their experience.
And they walk around and tell the Germans something about Jesus Christ.
And I remember that the first time that I went to the church, my feeling was wonderful.
I read the Book of Mormon and I just knew it's true.
And 12 days later I was baptized.
That's fast.
Yeah.
During the prayer, my wife starting to cry, and she felt the same feelings that 10 years before she felt. So together decided to be baptized.
And then after 6 months after my testimony, I decided to become a member of the church.
And since that time, our life changed in a beautiful way.
Have you ever heard of any famous people that are Mormons?
Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson?
No. She is Catholic.
Tom Cruise doesn't count, does he? He's that other thing.
He's that other thing.
Britney Spears? No.
Britney Spears? I don't think she's...
Oh, yeah. Donny Osmond.
Donny Osmond, yeah, that's right.
Crazy horses.
Donny Osmond?
Yeah.
He's a Mormon.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Donnie Marie?
Heard about the movie Napoleon Dynamite?
Are the people in Napoleon Dynamite Mormon?
I heard they are. I heard they are.
Have you ever heard of any of those Mormon movies in the United States?
I've heard of... I haven't heard of, like, any of the names of them.
The Singles Ward?
No. I heard of one that it was by a Mormon Christian rock group, and their DVD got pulled because it was the wrong DVD in the case.
You heard about that? That made news all the way over here in England. That's true. He's in that movie, actually.
Which version? The one that got released or the one that was meant to be released?
Are there any Mormon clothing designers?
I don't know. Are there?
I don't know. I've never heard of any.
How do they look like?
The Mormons? They kind of look like me or Jed.
Do you think of anyone famous that's Mormon?
Is it NBA basketballs?
There are some NBA basketball players who are Mormon. There's Sean Bradley. You know who that is? No, Danny Ainge.
I'm not sure if Keith Van Horn did it, but I remember him.
Is it Malone? Is he one?
Malone played for the Utah Jazz. Is David Hasselhoff a Mormon?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
He's a capitalism.
Have you ever heard anyone that's famous that's a Mormon?
Oh, rugby player. What's his name? He used to not play on Sundays. I remember that.
But you know a company called Quaker?
I do know the company called Quaker.
They have a Mormon face on it, isn't it? They make cereals, I think. Breakfast cereals.
You're the only one here. It's a Caesar, the Mormon.
Caesar is a Mormon?
Yes.
Yes?
He's dead, huh?
Caesar. Yeah. Caesar is dead, yeah. But Caesar was a Mormon.
We're a Mormon. I don't know.
Yeah. Wow. I don't think so, but you never know.
We lived like 2 blocks from the wall,
away on the east side, and I always remembered walking by the wall and seeing, like, it's actually really nice how it is here, because you see the houses on the other side, and I always saw the houses on the other side and wondered, you know, what they looked like from close up.
People would break into our apartments because they knew we were members of the church.
During stake conferences and other church meetings, there was always across the road a car with two men in black, you know, checking what's from the state security, checking what's going on there.
Of course, you heard the stories, you know, people trying to escape and then getting shot.
What were the churches like?
Well, you could just tell that they were never meant to be church buildings in the buildings we were in.
I remember going to primary activities, or, you know, activities that we had from the stakes and everything, and it was always so much fun, and so, like, everybody seemed so strong.
It wasn't until the wall fell that we had a baptismal font in the church building. I mean, all of my friends were baptized outside in the lake.
I think that's what made the members in the East really special, because they were so 100%, you know. You had to either really be strong or you couldn't survive being a member.
None of us were to the more organized way of doing it. Nobody knew it better. There weren't like church manuals.
Sometimes when people were allowed to go over to the west side, they would smuggle, is that a word?
Yeah, smuggle, yeah.
A study guide with them.
President Monson, he told a story once that he would memorize a manual so he could come to the East and then type it.
Really a chain of events that led to the opening of the wall, a chain of miracles.
1975, Elder Monson came to bless the country, and he said that all the members will be able to receive every blessing that there is. That means mission, to be able to go on a mission, to have a stake, to participate in the temple.
And I remember as a little girl thinking, you know, it'd be so great if we had a stake Berlin.
Before the wall came down, missionaries were not allowed officially to do, you know, door-to-door proselyting or talk to people. We would put our name tags very visible, and we would, you know, split up, one companion on the left side, one on the right-hand side, and, you know, turn to some people and really make them read our name tag.
They could shine
and just,
a little bit.
you know, ask.
To that time, President Spencer W. Kimball visited us here in this house.
The members were also praying in sacrament meeting for the political system, and that everything would go right, and that it would soften the hearts and it would open up.
And in this conference, he told us when the members will be strong in this stake in Zion in Berlin, one day the wall will come down and we will have a unified stake in Berlin.
Many members wanted to emigrate from the GDR to other countries or to Western Germany, and I remember the stake conference in September before the wall came down, about 8 weeks. The stake president said, "Remain where the Lord placed you." And actually 8 weeks later the wall fell and they could travel wherever they wanted to.
No, it's 11 when the wall came down.
I think it just turned 7 when the wall came down.
The day the wall came down, the night, the Berlin stake, we had our yearly golden green ball. And just middle in this party, in this ball, the door opened and our members and our friends from East Berlin, they just stood in and it was so amazing for us. Just, you know, it was a big party, you know, and just 11 o'clock we stopped it and took all our cars and went down to the wall, and at 11:30 I was on the wall with members from East Berlin.
Many people traveled to Berlin to see the wall coming down.
And everybody just, you know, came with mandarins and oranges.
And I remember we were invited at Christmas, so 6 weeks later, at a family. They had a cucumber, a fresh cucumber. They would cut in slices for us as missionary, as a very delicious thing they would never have been able to buy before on Christmas. I see a tremendous blessing in missionary work.
My friend and I went on a mission in '98 together. We were the first missionaries for almost 40 years in my home branch.
I remember attracting a huge apartment block with about 100 apartments. We started on the top and it took us 2 weeks to get through to the first floor because no one ever had attracted these apartments.
They were really close to each other, the members in the East. You know, everybody knew everybody, of course, you know, and they all got married to each other. So it was a good thing the wall came down because then we already knew, okay, those are the possibilities.
It's like it was like a big singles ward here. You needed to have a little steak dance.
Yeah, maybe.
None of that would ever have been possible, let's say, without the wall coming down.
Waren Journalisten von Amerika hier?
Short after the wall came down, there were journalists come to visit.
Und gehen mit uns hierher.
And they came with my family to the wall.
And actually, there was an issue of the enzyme where my dad puts his hand through the wall and then my uncle, you know, clasps his hand.
Alles hat sich erfüllt, was Präsident Monson.
Everything was fulfilled that President Monson was prophesying this country.
It was terrific. I mean, it was really terrific, and the feeling of, how should I express that? Of waking up.
Wo wir nie dachten im kommunistischen Land, dass wir das alles erleben würden.
We never thought that in this communist country that would ever happen, but we had faith.
Und alles.
And it happened.
May I ask, why would you bring up the Mormons?
Are you a Mormon?
Are you a Mormon?
Are you a Mormon?
Are you one of them? I am one of them. I am a Mormon. I am one.
Are you? Right. So
You're not wearing black, are you?
Yeah, not wearing like a name tag.
Well, you don't have beards.
Now I'm thinking, I thought they were much different.
Actually, you're using a video camera with electricity, aren't you?
Yes, it's electricity. Yeah. Microphone.
Yeah, you got a mic on you.
No beard.
No beard.
Yeah.
You can't be Mormon, could you?
I'm Mormon. I've been Mormon my whole life.
To me now,
Look like a Catholic? What if I told you I was a Mormon?
Oui?
Oui, yes. Yeah, we're very, very Mormon. You realize we're a Mormon? We must be if we're asking all these questions. So are we the first Mormons you've ever met?
I think so.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Mom.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too.
And you.
So maybe we're the first Mormons you've ever met.
Yes. Yes, you look normal.
The Mormons can look just like you or me.
Okay, right.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I am a Mormon.
And that's why all this questions.
You are from Utah?
Yes.
And you come here for interview people?
It's a show about if you know the Mormons around the world.
That's exactly what this is. I'm actually a Mormon myself, yeah, and so is Jed behind the camera. You know,
Guys are everywhere.
I am a Mormon actually.
So?
Well, yeah, in Rome I met the Mormons.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to Mormons in Utah?
What is important is reading the scripture every day, pray every day, and stay with the family.
I think that they should carry on doing what they believe and do it with all their heart.
Just always be inspired.
I'll say kia kaha, which means stay strong.
And share the gospel. It's amazing. And just don't take it for granted. The gospel is something you should always take for something special.
Find out for yourself, you know, to really like get a testimony. Just, I don't know, don't do it just because it's expected of you.
Search a lot for the right friends that respect your values and support you in what you do.
You feel your callings. I think the Lord will bless you as everyone else in the world. It's not important where you are. It's important what you do and how you stay to the Lord and to the commandments.
I think people should come over here. They should experience it.
Come to Paris. Come see us.
If Mormons were watching this documentary, would you tell them to come to Kenya and visit?
I think they are there already.
I think you're probably right. Yeah, if you had one thing to say to the Mormons in this documentary, what would it be?
Peace.
I would say, keep doing what you're doing.
Go on, the Mormons.
Yes, they believe in themselves.
It's a peaceful way of life, and well, I'll refer to what I said earlier. So, I mean, peace is what a great place to start.
I would say live your faith as well as you could, especially if wherever you're at, but especially if you're in the United States. Be faithful.
I believe that you should have tradition, and tradition should remain for this to stand the test of time.
It's just the way you live.
and the way you have a relationship with God, I guess.
I envy people that have a lot of faith.
The best way to follow the gospel is to live the gospel.
The gospel is for everyone, and to have everyone involved in the gospel has to be a good thing.
Be chaste, be loving, be prayerful, be holy, and I think that's something we can work together at. Catholics, Christians, Mormons, we can work to bring peace, love. This sounds idealistic, but it's the truth of our faith.
My testimony ist, für Gott ist nichts unmöglich. Das haben wir gelernt.
That what she learned the most in all this time is that nothing is impossible for God.